your horror movie podcast.
What is up, Hackstab Slash? It's your boy Hacky. This guy right here,
Just Justin, what is up?
he gave me some criteria going into the week. He said, Sean, you know what? I'm going to make you pick out a movie this week. And what I want you to do is I want you to find me a nice found footage movie from the year 1977. And I said to Justin, I was like, nah, bro, the only found footage movie you getting from 1977 is me burying your ass in a casket because I hate found footage movies with a passion. No. So he did what he's doing right now. He just shook his head. He shut off the lights, threw some flags at the wall, contemplated himself, took a deep breath, a little bit of meditation, took some ashwagandha, a couple of friggin' carbohydrate packets, did 3 push-ups, ate half a steak, sneezed twice, and then clapped his hands real hard before he did that. Bang, bang, bang. All right, we'll do a creature feature from the 90s. And I chose The Faculty.
Wow, so none of that happened. What a way to start. Besides that last part, I said creature feature from the 90s. I forgot about The Faculty. I'm not going to lie, I completely forgot this was a creature feature. Well, I guess I just didn't think of this movie.
Yeah, I never thought of it as a creature feature either.
Completely thought you were going to pick like Lake Placid or Anaconda or something like that. I thought you were going to go with giant snakes, giant alligator, but...
You know me all too well because... the first 2 movies I thought of was Lake Placid and Anaconda, but I was like, hold up. I'm like, we just did a ton of shark horror. I'm like, let's switch it up a little bit. And I think originally I had picked I'd picked something else. And I'm drawing, I was gonna stay oceanic horror again, and I was gonna go with Deep Horizon.
Yep.
And that movie was like $8 or something to rent. And I was like, I really don't want to pay for a movie right now. So we switched it up and we went with The Faculty.
Alrighty, let's go.
Justin, what was your expectations on this revisit?
So I have not revisited this for a long time. I remember when I did watch it, I loved it. So I was very excited to rewatch this again. So excited for this. So I guess I had very high expectations.
I'm the same way, and I think we talked about this off camera.
Yeah.
I love this movie with a passion. And I feel like I knew this movie front to back. And then when I hit play to do my notes, I was like, shit, I don't remember the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, I definitely have some thoughts about that as well, too, about maybe my expectations were a little too high overall. But yeah, I mean, we'll walk through that.
All right, so we're going to jump right into The Faculty. We meet Coach Willis, who's throwing a postal level temper tantrum on his team right now, taking it out on water coolers, water sprinklers, everything. He is just going hard before someone sneaks up on him. And we don't know exactly what happens because we don't really see anything. He just kind of turns his head and he's like, it better be important or you're going to be running laps until next year. And we see next, we meet Principal Drake. She's dishing out bad news to everyone who isn't part of the football program because this entire town's funding and pretty much every penny the school has is going to go into the football program because we learned very quickly that this is a football town and Friday Night Lights reigns supreme.
Oh, yeah.
And then right away in this opening scene, Justin.
Yep.
This whole opening scene gives me Halloween H2O vibes, hardcore. I mean, the whole following behind Principal Drake in the high school while she's looking for something, even when she grips her keys to fight back against Coach Willis, reminds me of when Michael is stalking Nurse Chambers in her house. When Coach Willis is chasing her around the school, it felt like we were back in H2O when Michael is chasing Laurie through the halls. She even gets the cut on her hand as well. There is just so many similar vibes between these 2 movies right now. And the only note I have is this must be a Dimensions film thing.
Dude, wait, and The Faculty is 1998, right? The same as H2O?
Yes.
Wow, okay. All right. I'm just piecing that together right now as we...
Yeah, I don't know if you could tell by the haircut. Josh Hartnett really didn't have much time between movies for it to grow out.
No, exactly the same. Exactly. He literally looks like he just did these movies right back to back.
Well, anywho, the principal gets got by the drama teacher and not the football coach. So surprise on us because she gets stabbed in the chest with some gigantic scissors. And she's just like, I always wanted to do that. Welcome now to Harrington High School, home of the Hornets, where we've got every table in this lunchroom covered. We meet Zeke, our bad boy drug dealing fifth year senior. We meet Casey, who holds the school record for flagpole ball sack smashes. Stokely, who's misunderstood and only listens to Orgy's Blue Monday because there's deeper meaning behind their musical lyrics.
Said nobody ever.
We also meet Stan, Harrington's own high school star quarterback with a golden arm. Delilah, the arm candy to Stan, who's really the mastermind cheerleader behind the scenes who runs this entire school. And last but not least, we meet Mary Beth, our Southern belle with a voice that would melt your heart like butter. We also get a quick introduction of our student faculty as well, and there's some studs. And when I say studs, I mean, come on, dude. We get freaking Jonathan Stewart as Mr. Edward Furlong. Edward Furlong plays John Connor in Terminator 2. Terminator 2's protagonist, or like the villain or whatever, is Coach Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way that name was an accident.
No, incredible.
Mr. Edward, that was awesome. And then we also flipping get Famke Janssen. Wow, I murdered that name.
I'm not going to say that name either, but this cast, man, holy shit, this cast.
Dude, she's the goddess scream queen from the 90s into the aughts that we knew we've always loved, needed, wanted, and need to have brought back to us.
Oh, yeah.
We also see a very beautiful, even when sick, Selma Hayek. You may know her better as the beautiful vampiress from a little legendary movie known as From Dusk Till Dawn.
I don't know, how was even Selma Hayek in this for like a minute? But like, that's crazy too. Like, holy shit.
There is so much like horror royalty scattered throughout this movie. We didn't know how good we had it when this came out.
I thought of the same thing. I said, if we could just fast forward and like realize like how many stars are packed in this movie, even in like the small parts, like crazy.
Dude, like we've got Frodo Baggins.
Right?
Like, it's insane. And then we get a day in the life at Harrington High. Zeke is giving flirtatious answers to Mrs. Burke. I mean, I would be too if Mrs. Burke was my teacher. Just saying, Famke Janssen is one hell of a lady, if you catch my drift. We see Mary Beth, who's trying to make a friend with Stokely, but she's rudely interrupted by Delilah, who says she's nothing but an angry lesbian, to which Stokely calls her a gutter slut. I love this terminology.
Dude, the terms too. What a great movie.
We see Casey eating lunch completely alone out on the bleachers. On his way back, though, he finds a bug in the field and he pockets it just in time to be confronted by Coach Willis, which could have gone like very differently based off of what we've seen him do in the opening scenes with Principal Drake. I didn't think Casey was making it off that field.
Mm-mm.
There's so many quick minor insults throughout this entire movie that I love it. And I'm just going to give another quick example before I completely leave them alone. So people who haven't seen this movie or want to rewatch this movie can go back and do so. We see Stan, who bumps into Stokely. Stokely turns around and says, "Hey, watch where you're going," because this is like the fourth time they've bumped into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And because she's like a goth chick with very heavy black eye makeup, he responds with, "Maybe if you didn't paint your fucking eyes shut." And just kept walking. I was like, I love this banter in the hallways between the groups. It gives some like comedic character depth behind like what kind of high schoolers these kids are.
Oh, yeah.
We see Stan bringing the bug now into the science lab to Mr. Furlong, who begins to look at it with this entire class. He believes Casey may have discovered a new species, and they realize it needs water to survive because they actually Stokely bumps into Usher, who I can't remember his name in this movie. They bump into each other, whatever. They like hip check. And one of them dumps water and it knocks onto this thing and it comes back to life. And that idiot science teacher decides, hey, instead of like pumping my brakes and really trying to digest what's going on, let me throw this in like a 32-gallon fish tank. And then when it immediately splits into two, all these crazy things come out of it. You're going to stick your very vulnerable hand in there to rub its prostate.
Yeah.
To rub it. I just want to check its prostate. Are you kidding me right now, Mr. Furlong? I know what you do when the doctor says cough.
Right.
Fucking dumbass.
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous.
We we get a cut scene to Stan, who's having a conversation with Coach Willis, and he informs the coach that he's quitting football. And it's a very, very unsettling conversation. And it was way too nice, if you ask me. So Stan hits the showers to kind of like wash off the day, reset himself, because there's nothing better than just taking a hot shower to really get back on your feet and like revamp yourself for the day, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So while he's hitting up these showers, I seriously hope he doesn't drop the soap because the 110-year-old Miss Brummel enters the showers to give him the rub down of a lifetime, Justin.
Yeah.
That
You
was
know,
disgusting.
that was a lot. That was a lot to process right here.
Yeah, in my head too. I'm like, all right, so you're in this instant. Obviously, you're butt ass naked, bro. You're in the shower. You have this old ass teacher walking in, stripping her clothes off her body. I know you're in panic. I know you don't know what's going on, but a fellow student, Casey, pokes his head around the corner to see like if everything's okay. And instead of being like, A, get help, B, let's get out of here, or like any one of those options, he just says, get out, and then
Yeah.
proceeds to comfort Miss Brummel.
Yeah, I didn't understand the scene.
It was very bad. And the next scene, though, we see Miss Olsen giving Casey, who witnessed the incident between Stan, who got blue balled, the excuse that Miss Brummel has cancer, and that's why she was melting in his arms. She literally was melting in the shower, Justin.
Oh yeah, like part of her scalp like fell out.
That was the effects were good, but that was disgusting.
It like fell on the floor.
Like if you could take a hot slice of like extra cheese pizza with a little bit of like tomato paste and slap it against the wall and just watch it flop off, that's what it looked like. It was disgusting. And then, dude, the storyline is wild. The banter is uncalled for. It's uncanny. It makes no sense. It makes my head tingle. It doesn't make my brain itch. It makes my head tingle.
Yep.
Because we see Zeke now, who's striking out yet again with Miss Burke.
Oh yeah.
But instead of giving her flirtatious answers with like, you know, I'd sleep with you and I wouldn't tell my parents underneath the context, he offers her chocolate flavored laxatives and cherry condoms. I do not ever want to eat chocolate covered cherries again in my entire life, Justin, because the only image I have seared in my brain right now is a shit covered cherry condom.
Oh, Dick.
I know you're trying to say dear God, but you just kept saying Dick.
I couldn't. Oh man. No, that was a lot. And like, I don't know, man. Some of his like line delivery was so weird and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell am I? I'm like, is he a bad actor? Is this movie like? It was ridiculous.
How do you line up chocolate laxatives and cherry condoms? You do not want to mix those two ever. No, God, no. Casey and Delilah are now in the teacher's lounge. They're snooping around for some clues. Coach Willis and Miss Olsen like walk in. I don't know if you'd say walk in on them because they're somewhere where they're not supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that terminology would be right. But when they walk in, it forces Casey and Delilah to hide in the closet. And they overhear Willis and Olsen talking about Miss Brummel, who was too old to take it. So that's why she died. And in walks Nurse Harper, who's sick as a dog. Horrible timing, if you ask me, though, because a concerned coach and a concerned Miss Olsen kind of like kill / change her while both these kids watch from the closet. And I forgot to mention that, Three's company in that closet because dead Miss Brummel's body is in there as well.
Body's in there.
On top of Delilah. This makes one hell of a racket. So these kids are often sprinting now down the hall. They bump into Principal Drake and Mr. Tate, and they start spilling the beans about Nurse Harper, who walks out of the teacher's lounge completely fine. Wow.
There's a lot happening here.
Yeah, there is. A lot is happening right now. And Casey even goes home and he tells his parents who do the right thing, dude. They call the cops. They all show up to the school to investigate. They come up empty-handed, though. But in the process, while they're investigating, Principal Drake infects the cops. So now whatever is taking over the school faculty, get it? I said the faculty. Now has the cops as well. Oh, I think I forgot to mention at some point. Casey's dad It,
I wasn't gonna let you. I was just gonna
you
talk
were
about
gonna
this for a second.
let,
I wasn't gonna let that
who
pass.
is it, Justin?
Unreal. So I forgot about that too. Like his dad is Shooter McGavin. Happy Gilmore. Are you kidding me? Was it Christopher McDonald? Is that his name?
Yes, yes.
Shooter McGavin. Wow.
Casey's parents are now at home and they are trashing his bedroom. They think he's on drugs, but Casey's adamant that there's something actually happening at the school. And Shooter McGavin snaps and he takes everything away. I'm talking the phone, the internet, even his stash of porn mags.
Oh,
I say this lightly, and I know it's very subtle, like comedy, that unless you're of a certain mindset, you're not going to get, Justin.
hmm.
When Casey falls off the roof thinking that the faculty's trying to like kill him, and
Yep.
he stands up and Shooter McGavin's outside, bro has got the porn mag rolled up and he rests it on the side of his face and pushes his chin and goes, "Go back inside." Your kid done been beating his meat for how long? Turning them sticky ass pages. And you gonna put it on his face?
I love that you just had to mention that.
What?
I love
This
that. Oh my
this
God.
is so fucking wild, dude.
Yeah,
But
I'll throw just for you. Red flag.
no, that is not. There is not enough red flags in the world for that kind of
Oh,
parenting, Justin.
all of them. Throw them all.
Jesus, Casey is. I feel bad for him. But the next day at school, this thing is starting to spread like wildfire. Obviously, the entire faculty is fully taken over, but they are beginning to call students down to the office one by one. They're also turning them. Casey and Delilah are starting to panic because they feel like they're being stalked and hunted. However, Stokely and Stan, they're in a completely different mindset right now because they're actually starting to enjoy each other's company and they're starting to formulate this bond. Their moment, though, is very rudely interrupted by Mr. Tate, who tells the class that the students are to take out a pencil and a piece of paper and give him a full ass family tree, reaching out to every single living relative, and this will be counted as a test grade. What?
Uh, I love that too. He's like,
Huh?
this is the test. Okay.
Yeah, it would. Do you need to infect the family per like age group? Like,
I didn't even understand why he needed all that.
yeah,
Very-
I mean, I get you. Like, you want to know where everyone is, like who's who, all that stuff. But like, wouldn't you just infect someone who's not infected the second you come into contact with them, anyways?
I was thinking that too. I'm like, wouldn't you just infect everyone? Like, you actually need the whole bloodline. I mean, you're gonna try to
Yeah,
take
you
over the
just
world.
infect the kid and send him home and let him do the work.
Exactly.
So, right, as we walk through these halls, we start to notice that there is less commotion going on between the students. We see students are even raising their hands to answer questions, which did not happen earlier on in this movie. This high school has gone from mild-mannered chaos and car accidents to even tempted social hour.
Very robotic, just
Yeah,
in the movements and
like even that couple that is constantly fighting and slapping each other. I don't know the guy's name, but he is in Scary Movie. I don't know if you caught that.
oh yes, I did. Yes, I forget his name too, but
Yeah,
he
he's
is
the
in
one
those.
that's on the bed that like shoots the load and
Yeah.
presses
Oh
her.
yeah. Yeah, he's like the main guy with Cindy there. Like,
Yeah. But like in the beginning of the movie, they're like borderline fist fighting him and his girlfriend, like chasing each other
mm,
around these halls. And after he's infected, she's like slapping him to get a reaction, and he's just straight up taking it, like, cool, whatever.
mhm.
Our next scene, we see Zeke is getting bought out by some absolute piece of trash, filth of a human being who's playing a high school student. I won't mention his name, but they're trying to buy him out of every piece of this homemade drug concoction that he has. He starts to get weirded out as they demand more and more and more. So, in my mind right now, I'm thinking either Zeke realizes he's got like the winning formula for some like grade A primo shit and he's stashing what's left so he can figure out why these kids love it so much, or he's like something really weird is going on. I'm gonna reserve some of this for myself in case I need it later. Like,
Right.
there's a little bit of foreshadowing of on what's going
Yeah.
on.
Crazy vibes right there. Definitely.
And he immediately gets like bum rushed by Miss Burke, who's undergone a full like butterfly from cocoon transformation. Like, she was this reserved, very geeky type teacher who was like very sheltered, like no confidence at all, to like She is a badass, baddie,
Yeah,
dominant
perfect.
lioness right now.
Yeah, perfect way to describe it is the Jennifer's body scene when Jennifer
Yes.
comes in like possessed and she's like walking down the hallway and everyone's like, "Holy shit!"
And she starts going at it with Zeke, dude. And Zeke is trying to give her like the smart ass responses, and he's got nothing, dude. And she puts him fully into his place. And right now, Justin, I need you to take over because it is getting hot and heavy. And I do not need any cherry flavored condoms floating my way right now. So it is all
Exactly.
you, bro.
Oh my God. Yeah, like you said, she bodies him. Holy crap. She takes it so personal, completely bodies him, just destroys this dude.
She's like, you don't
And
even know where your mommy is. What is she in, like
I
Thailand
was
this
gonna say,
week?
seriously, starts talking about his family and everything. And at this point, we see Stokely and Casey, and they're talking to each other. And she's kind of joking her about how this is very similar to Attack of the Body Snatchers. Awesome reference too. Never mind the little
Love how
references.
they work that stuff in.
Dude, the references in this movie, amazing. But Casey takes this like super serious. He's like, no, that's like actually what is happening. That's actually what's happening. And then another reference, one of my favorite things in the whole world, says the X-Files are right. Talk about parasites. So now we get an X-Files, like incredible. Basically, like, all right, well, we gotta go grab Delia and Stan and tell everyone that like, these are aliens. This is actually happening. When this is happening, we see Zeke and Mary Beth. They are in the lab stealing equipment for Zeke. They start making out, putting the moves on each other, and they
Bow,
hear
chicka, bow,
right
wow.
through the vents. They hear the other four of them talking about the aliens. So, like, you know what? They're gonna go mess with them. So we see Zeke and Mary Beth. They run into the room. Zeke's acting all crazy and everything. But before this happens, John Stewart, the teacher, walks in,
Dude, hold
and
it real quick. This
yeah,
part where Zeke walks in and he's holding his gut and he's got his
yeah,
girlfriend, he's like falling over himself.
hmm
Tell me this is not almost the exact same scene as when he plays John in Halloween H2O and Michael like gut checks him and he's running out to Laurie Strode's SUV
yep.
and the girlfriend's like carrying him and he's holding his guts and he's like, Mom.
Dude, it's crazy. I like when I saw the scene, it reminded me of something so bad. That's 100% what it is. Right as this happens, John Stewart walks in, and Zeke's like you said, he's messing her.
John Stewart, lead singer of Lit. Oh wait,
Yeah,
those are two different guys.
he walks in and he's like, "Oh, you're an alien," and he's like, "You think I'm an alien?" Well, guess what? Right away, he starts attacking kids. He's the damn alien. He's got little tentacles shooting out of his face. Like this gets real. This goes from 0 to 60 now. Pretty much for the rest of the movie, it is absolutely on.
Now, when I say we talked about this outside of work and we couldn't remember like the whole beginning of the movie, in my mind, having not seen this forever, this is where like the movie starts.
100%. So much of that beginning I thought was kind of a slow start, and there's a lot of fluff, I thought personally. When this does get going, it gets going, and it is one hell of a ride. And from this point on, I mean, Zeke takes like a paper friggin' slicer and slices his fingers off. And the little fingers have like the parasites. The fingers are going around like crazy. And then he grabs his pen, stabs him in the eye, the drug pen, and he starts convulsing. He dies. Like white foam comes out of his head.
Just picture like if you dropped a Mentos inside of a Diet Coke.
Yes, I was just foaming to the point where literally he is gone. And they're like, let's get the hell out of here. It is escape time. They six of them now, so they're all walking out. They're going to his car, and they're staring around. Everyone looks suspicious. Like Sean was already saying before, very robotic. Everyone, you like, it's complete different. Everyone has changed, and they're kind of realizing they're looking around like they don't know who's an
Yeah,
alien.
this went from Harrington High to a military academy real fast.
Yeah, everyone, no one's talking. Everyone's marching. They're making weird eye contact with people. They get to Zeke's car and they basically just floor it. They see like there's traffic stops too, like right now around like the border of the town. They floor it. They get around that and they go to Zeke's house, which is basically he's got a lab down there, and we see he's got labs, test tubes, just making crazy shit down there. They have a little parasite with them, and they feed the little piece of the parasite to the lab mouse. This thing goes into the mouse in like 10 seconds, and he actually has to kill the mouse. And now he's dissecting it. Like I said, when this guy has a lab, he literally has a lab.
I'm just floating
And
this out there. There was no need to kill the mouse. You could have
Right.
just sprinkled water on it like you did in the lab, let it come to life, and then sprinkle your fucking diuretic nose candy on it. And
Yeah, so
call it a day.
we killed this poor mouse, and right away they're realizing like, oh, they're using us as hosts. We have to find the leader and kill it. We got to stop the spread. We have no idea who actually is spread or not, who's turned or not. And at this point, they are turning on each other. They are all pointing fingers, like one by one. They're like, "What about you? What about you?" And they go through the whole entire line. Nobody trusts each other. And then Zeke realizes, you know what? The only way is we take a hit. And he's got his little drug pens full of his powder. He's like, well, this stops it. We saw what happened. This is the only way. We must all do it. Stan loses the shit. He grabs the gun. He's pointing he's pointing the gun at Zeke and tells Zeke to friggin' hit it. And he does. So he takes it. He snorts it. One by one, they're very reluctant too. Not everyone really wants to do this at all. Stan,
The only one who
takes it.
looks like he enjoys it is Casey.
Casey does it, and he is like tripping ball. He's like losing.
Immediately, like,
He's like tweaking out. Like this dude is having so much fun. Like I said, both the girls, Mary Beth especially, she was not a big fan of taking it. Neither was Delia, but they all end up doing it, and they realize, holy shit, yeah, Delilah, she's one of them. They start shooting at her. She knocks over everything. She escapes because there's a car already waiting for her in front of the
dude,
damn
it's
house.
this student driver car driven by Mr. Tate. How badass do you have to be to get away in a student driver car?
It takes her away. And they realize, like, holy shit, what just happened? Like, we got to stop her. Maybe she's the queen. Maybe she'll stop this. And where could she be? Well, they said, hey, it's Friday night. There's only one place we could be. We got to go kill the queen. So to the football game. Friday night lights. Let's go. You gotta
Bro, they are murdering the other team.
And that's what I really, my notes say these players are just absolutely, like, literally killing the other team. And you can see, like, they're changing people as they're killing them. I mean, I'm talking WWE clotheslines, power bombs, skirmishes.
Take me back to no holds bar football.
Yeah,
like,
this is
right now you
football.
Sneeze on a quarterback wrong, you get a flag.
Yeah, there was no flag.
So you turn your head too fast, it's pass interference. This game
right?
was just like we were watching NFL Blitz 2000.
Oh my God, what a great reference. Absolutely killing each other. So we see they meet up at the gym. So they're in the gym right now. And Miss Drake, she actually walks in. Right away, they tackle her because she's all like, what are you guys up to and everything? And then we got to stop her. She's obviously one of them. They tackle her. They point the gun at her. And she's like, what are you kids doing? No one wants to shoot her because they're panicking. Like, it's tough, right? Because, like, is she turned? Is she not turned? Like, we don't know. We've never, like, really killed anyone.
There's a lot of emotion pouring out of her for this.
That's the
thing. For someone who's supposed to be like an alien.
She seriously seems, I was like, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, oh my God, don't kill her. She's clearly not turned. So Zeke just grabs the gun and shoots her right in the head. And she's bleeding out, and they're all kind of like, wait, did we just make a mistake? You can tell it's very tense right now. Well, they're like, let's just throw the powder on her face. So they throw the powder on the face because
Mary Beth grabs every ounce of it too and just fucking dumps
everything. And we see, like, it fries her, absolutely melts her face after she came back from, like, the scare. She was infected. Let's go. She is gone.
Do you know what this reminded me of? I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. I think it's called Witches, the Disney movie, where, like, they're in a hotel and it's all the witches at a convention, and, like, the second they lock the doors, they all shred their, like, female forms and they become like these giant, like, nosed witches with, like, rat ears, and they turn kids into, like, it was a crazy fucking Disney movie.
I've heard of it. I know
this scene kind of, like, reminded me of that, with, like, her melting into, like, ooze and, like, all that, like, white foggy shit coming off her.
Yeah. And at this point, they're praying it worked. Like I said, they're thinking, all right, well, she's the queen. Like, let's go. It is pouring outside right now. We see Stan runs out there, and we see the coaches in the field with a bunch of the players and kind of just staring off to oblivion with
one of the most iconic scenes in this movie.
Amazing scene because they all have the antennas, like parasite things, all reaching out of their face, like 6 of them in every face.
It's downpouring right now.
Just pouring rain, and You just see these crazy arms moving around or whatever you
They're,
want to
they're
call it.
doing their best Creed impression because they're all lined up with arms
Yeah,
wide open.
arms wide open. Creed's actually on the soundtrack too, just to let you know. I believe they cover like an Alice Cooper song. Um, Wicked creepy. We see Stan run back now, and they let me in, and they ask him a few questions and everything, and then he starts like he gives that evil smile. He is infected. Stan is now one of them. We see now there's just four of them all locked in the gym. They're panicking. They need a game plan because this shit is not going good. Zeke thinks he actually has more of those drugs in his car, but how they're going to get to the car, Zeke and Casey decide they're going to make a break for it. So we see they run out there. So now they're out there. It's just the two girls in the gym.
Dude,
Casey,
just real quick,
yeah.
when the two girls are in the gym,
Mhm.
at this point, Chris was like, "I don't like that girl. She gives me bad feelings."
Oh, really? He said
Chris
that?
Chris was actually watching this movie with me.
Oh, no shit. That's awesome. We'll get back to that in a couple minutes. We see Casey gets narrowly, so they're running through the parking lot and everything. He actually ends up on like a school bus and he narrowly escapes Delilah because we see possessed Delilah there. She's like, "Don't you want me, Casey?" She goes after him, and the football team's all crazy too. A football guy tries tackling him too. He escapes out of that, but Miss Burke now captures Zeke at the car. They have some more flirty little talk about it, everything.
Bro, I'm
But
just saying, if Miss Burke or Delilah stop me in this movie and they dangle that temptation of you could be with me forever, you just got to become. I think I might just become an alien.
I just feel like fuck
Oh,
it,
I'm
like,
sorry.
risk it all. Like,
All right, whatever.
like whatever. You know what? I had a good run.
Yeah.
Okay, Famke Janssen. Oh, what's her name? Jordana Brewster.
Oh.
You win. Let's go.
We're not worthy.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, he jumps in his car. He tries to floor around. He's trying to get his drugs. Well, guess who also smashes herself into the car too? Miss Burke. He is driving, flying her. She's in the car. He actually crashes into the school bus. She shoots out, and he kind of falls out. But in another crazy scene, he gets out. You see her head walking around. Her head's grown little legs and is walking around as her body with no head is looking
Is
around.
looking for her head.
She literally gets it and reattaches her head. And you see him, he's just like, fuck this. And he runs away. We see now in the gym, Stokely and Mary Beth, they're talking. Mary Beth's basically just talking about all this different things and stuff and how she needs to like show her real self and everything. And guess what? Son of a bitch. She is the freaking queen. She is the
Chris
leader
called
of
this.
Yeah,
My 7-year-old called this.
that's pretty
He
bad.
was like, she doesn't give me very good vibes. I think she's the bad person.
Yeah. And when
The
she talks,
second she threw her off the bleachers, he looked at me and was like, I told you so.
yeah, she launches her off the bleachers. And at this time, I mean, poor freaking Casey runs back in. And at this point, they're running for their life because she is crazy. There's also a swimming pool in there too. She like, because Stokely runs away for her life. She jumps like into the swimming pool and she turns into like an octopus crazy creature. Like,
Dude, this thing gets bigger the more water it consumes.
dude, she's flying and she's becoming this giant squid-like monster. I don't even know what to say, but Stokely tries to escape. She grabs Stokely and like smashes her face and pulls her in the water. Absolute just craziness. At this point, Zeke's walking in too. And he actually does. Stokely gets out. Casey saves Stokely. We think everything's going to go good there. Escapes her from the pool. Zeke walks into the locker room, and Stokely's right there. And all of a sudden, he turns around, and Mary Beth is there. Kind of awkward, though, because, well, Mary Beth,
Dude.
she's got no clothes on. And
Zeke wants so badly to side with Mary Beth over Stokely. Well,
So
they're
bad.
like, they're both pulling him in both directions.
They're both pointing at each other.
And he
And-
spots the red flag, Justin, and calls her out on it. He immediately, when she starts stepping away from the wall, he just goes, wait a minute. If you're not an alien, can you answer this question for me? Why are you naked right now?
Dude, so amazing. Just because like, clearly that's a red flag. One girl is standing butt ass naked. A little awkward when that has not been her character like at all, and all of a sudden she's just standing naked, pointing at the other one. And like I said, he literally
And then she
says,
turns
like,
on
"Why-"
Stokely, too. She starts calling her all the names that Delilah was calling her at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
Which, And you look at Stokely and she's bleeding from the nose. She looks like she's been through hell, and she's like, you got to believe me." And it looks like Zeke is gonna like fucking stab one of them with something.
Oh yeah, Zeke Lee literally goes get ready to stab her, but Stokely is also infected because she grabs his friggin' arm and we're like, holy shit, like. And now at this point, thank God for Casey, because Casey runs in and locks her in a friggin' cage. That Stokely, that is, throws her in there, locks her in there. Mary Beth ends up escaping, and Mary Beth, right before too, you said, oh well, she took the drugs. Well, guess what? It kind of shows, like when she went to snort it, her alien-like body, like
She does
like
that like twisting too, and
yeah, her nostril
plugs
got,
her
like,
nose.
her nostril got like plugged, like some alien-like blockage, and she
So
kind of
the
twisted and
equivalent of like me and you can jump into a pool and not have to hold our nose. Her alien body is like, hey, when we swim upside down, water goes up our nose. So instead of plugging it like this, we just have these cool little things.
oh yeah. So now Mary Beth's escaped. Stokely's locked in there. Zeke still just saw Casey. Doesn't trust him right away either. Too. He's like, holy shit! Like I just came back. One girl's naked. The other girl's the other girl's changed. So makes Casey do more drugs to prove
Dude,
he
I feel
does.
so bad for Casey. This whole scene, dude, when he makes him takes these drugs,
Yo,
and you seen how giggly Casey got and was like having a good time the first time.
yes,
He takes it and then sees this shadow. That's got to be the equivalent of like taking mushrooms, and the
dude.
second the trip hits you,
It starts
seeing
turning
like
red.
a 10-car pile up in front of you with bodies flying
For
everywhere.
real. Like
Bad
the kid
trip.
is lightweight, goofy high, just wants to have fun, but yeah, not good. And at this point, Zeke gets launched by Mary Beth. You see him hit the ground, and it looks like he is knocked out cold. Casey is on the move. Mary Beth is just walking around naked, like talking out loud, like taunting them, talking about our planet and all this different shit. Uh, she turns herself back into the giant creature, parasite, whatever you want to call it. Casey is now in the gym, and you see him hit a button. He starts running behind the bleachers. And these bleachers, that button is closing them. They're all like these big springs and everything. They're slowly closing. Super smart move. He is running behind them. She actually runs behind them too, and she's in monster form at this point. Crazy parasite creature thing. At the very last second, when he gets at the very end, she gets trapped. The thing is closed on her body. She's, like I said, so creature or monster, and he stabs it right in the face with the drugs. But this damn thing like pukes out parasites right into Casey's face. So they're all
You
crawling
can,
around in his face. I
oh,
felt like everywhere. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like this poor dude is infected now. Thank God the drugs work, because she all of a sudden, like, she starts foaming. She does that thing where she dies. All the parasites instantly fall out of Casey. Thank God. Let's friggin' go.
can I do
Now,
one more tie-in real quick?
yeah, what do you got?
So when she's chasing Casey through the locker room and she's
Yep.
throwing the lockers out of the way,
Yeah, yeah.
tell me that is not reminiscent of Michael Myers in H2O walking through the mess hall and flipping the tables over looking for Laurie.
Dude, these movies definitely felt super similar. And at this point, thank God, we see that Stokely is back. We see Stokely coming back. We see Zeke is back. Let's go. And then we cut to 1 month later, and we're seeing everyone, but there's also like there's a news announcer talking. So we're getting the voiceover from the newswoman. She's basically saying everything is back to normal, despite there's still a bunch of missing people that's kind of unsolved mysteries. We see Zeke is now on the football team.
Smoking a cigarette.
Smoking a cigarette. He's still the bad boy, but he's on the team now. We see Stan is actually back. Stan, it was with Stokely. We see Casey is like a hero on the newspapers. It's basically saying like hoax or hero, like he saved the town. The news is there, and who's he with? He's there with Delilah. Gets a nice kiss from Delilah. Looks like they are together. Walks to be interviewed by another news media. The end. Let's
Bro,
talk about it.
I've been Team Casey this whole movie.
Love Casey's. All right, what do you want to talk about? What do you got? What are your thoughts?
Right.
What's your ranking?
So I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is an absolute favorite of mine. Like if I had 10 movies I could bring to a desert island, this would definitely be in consideration. It might not win, but it's definitely a heavy contender. Josh Hartnett is a top tier when it comes to any kind of horror movie in my book. Maybe I just have a strong love for this because I have a strong love for the H2O movie and the vibes that come with it. Um, when we dig into fun facts, and like we've been saying all along, there's a dumb amount of similarities between these two movies. I like the score, the setting, the dialogue. It's all just a fun time. I'm giving The Faculty a B plus as a final grade, or better known as like an 8.6.
All
The
right.
rewatchability is top notch. Justin, you grew up with 80s as your golden age of horror, right?
Yep.
My sweet spot for a golden age has to be 1996 to 2006. And I'm talking 1996 is the birth of Scream. I'm going to
Yeah.
give you real quick 10 movies in no particular ranking or
Oh,
order or
God.
anything like that
All
to
right.
help back up my statement. That way, there, you're not like, because I feel like you might be in disagreement when I say
Okay.
the 90s and the aughts is a golden age of horror. So I'm going to give you a couple movies. You ready?
Yep.
Scream, 1996. I want you thumbs up or thumbs down. The Craft, 1996. Halloween H2O, 1998. Final Destination, 2000. Jeepers Creepers, 2001. All right, now I know this one's gonna get a thumbs down. Get rid of the director for Jeepers Creepers because we know there's some horrible backstory behind that.
Mhm.
I think that changes a lot of people's opinions because of
That's
what
why I gave it a neutral. I didn't give it a thumbs down.
what
I
unfortunately
like
gets
Jeepers Creepers.
attached to it really does suck.
Yeah. I'd give it like a not all the way up, but it's like,
Yeah. This one I know you're gonna give a thumbs down. Resident Evil 2002. uh, Freddy versus Jason 2003.
I'll give it a like a not all the way up.
It's such
but
a fun
it-
time.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
such
exactly.
a fun time.
Exactly. No, it's great. Yeah, I
All
love
right.
it.
Now, this might chap some asses, but I think this is better than the original. 2003's remake, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I still give it a thumbs up, definitely.
Saw 2004.
Oh God, yeah, thumbs up. I love that.
And then another remake that just about undoes the original, Dawn of the Dead 2004.
Yeah, I mean all the thumbs up.
And then I'm going to throw some honorable mentions at you real fast, and you're going to love most of these. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Leslie Vernon, Hatchet,
Oh God, smash.
Stay
God.
Alive, The Hills Have
Yep.
Eyes, Wrong
Oh,
Turn,
yeah.
Urban Legends. This one's just for you, Justin. Black
Yep.
Sheep.
Oh,
Shaun of
let's
the Dead.
go. Let's
Ghost
go.
Ship is my personal favorite. I know it's not a lot of people's. From Dusk Till Dawn. I threw this one in for you as well. The Blair Witch Project.
Yes,
Dog
thank
Soldiers.
you.
Bride of Chucky. Bro, I could go on forever. I just wanted to validate my point of, for me, my golden age, my personal golden age, because of when I grew up, is 96 to 06.
No, I hate it too. It's definitely when in '96 I was like 12 or 13. So trust me, like those movies are. It's just when I first started watching horror, for whatever reason, it was still like all those movies like VHS stores, and so I just started watching all '80s slashers. So I got addicted to those '80s slashers. So while those movies are coming out, I was still watching '80s slashers. But dear
That's
God,
what I mean.
love.
See,
That's
when
what I
I
mean.
really started to get into horror was like the early aughts. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
really when I really like dove into it because everything before that was 90s horror that I grew up on because that's what my brothers watched.
Oh yeah. But
All right, what do you got?
all right. Yeah, to get back on track, I wrote love this cast. Holy shit. Love the second half of this. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love this as much as I thought. I just the first half I thought was very slow, and I honestly thought like 15 minutes of this movie could have
You
been
could cut out a lot of
completely cut
fluffer.
out. A lot of fluff in this movie. That being said, like holy shit, just still like the cast, I love it. I like H2O better, but I give this a 7.6 out of 10. I still think it's wicked
Very,
good.
very high, yeah.
I love, like I said, these part of the 90s, like I love all that shit. So yeah, 7.6 out of 10. Go watch The Faculty.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll start off.
The soundtracks in these movies always fucking slap, dude.
Oh, dude!
Always.
One of my fun fact. Well, it wasn't a fun fact. I just wrote the soundtrack's freaking awesome. There's so much good shit. We got a tagline: 6 students are about to find out their teachers really are from another planet. And before, not a fun fact, but we just didn't even mention the fucking director. Also, this was Robert Rodriguez who directed. I meant to mention that earlier, so just shout out Robert Rodriguez and go ahead, hit us with a fun fact.
All right. Speaking of 6 students, this is a 6.6 on IMDb.
All right. I wrote Phil. We got film debuts. I'll give you 2. We got Usher's film debut and Jordana Brewster's film debut.
She likes it my way.
So we
The
got
drug
two.
test scene is direct homage to the blood test scene in The Thing from 1982.
That was my next thing. I love this one that Scully, Gillian Anderson, actually turned down the role of the principal. I thought
Oh, that would have been legit,
dude,
especially with an X-Files reference.
especially, and never mind, there's an X-Files reference. And let's not forget who replaced Mulder. Um, oh my God, the T-1000. I can't. Robert Patrick. Or is it Jason Patrick? Robert Patrick. One's a
Robert
singer.
Patrick.
Robert Patrick. Jason is the singer. Filter. Robert Patrick literally replaced Mulder in the X-Files. So that would have been crazy to have. His name was Agent Doggett in the X-Files. That would have been crazy to have both of them in it.
So
So
during a retrospective interview for Halloween H2O, Josh Hartnett acknowledges his controversial hairstyle. That can be seen in that film and The Faculty. Both productions hated it, but Hartnett intentionally kept cutting his own hair and messing it up so he could look more like an authentic teen. These antics led to fights with producers and the director of H2O who wanted him fired. Ultimately, that did not occur, and Hartnett finished both films. Because we all know when you give actors and actresses creative freedom in these movies, it 9 times out of 10 turns out for the better. And I think Hartnett, especially in these two movies, became iconic in all the right ways.
very well said. 100% agree. We got the original title of this movie was called
The Feelers?
The Feelers. Thank God you wrote The Faculty.
Oh my God. Especially
Feelers,
between Mrs. Burke and Zeke in this movie, if you called this The Feelers, I'm pretty sure there would have been like a bunch of meme posters with the word pedo in front of feelers.
Yeah, you don't want to call it The Feelers. Thank God
No.
we avoided that.
At one point, though, the principal suggests saving money by reusing the set from Our Town. The inside joke on this is that Thornton Wilder's set, Our Town, has no set. So there's nothing for them to reuse.
Nothing there. Awesome. Let's see. I think I only have no, I got two left. We got a budget of 15 million, but it smashed that with 63.5 million. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Did you know Zeke's car is a 1970 Pontiac GTO?
Let's go. And I also wrote Zeke was the only character who, the main characters who did not get infected because even Casey got infected, but luckily it did not last. Also, on the poster behind me, I'm just noticing, like, isn't it really weird that everyone's on there, even Usher, but Mary Beth isn't? Like,
Yeah, that was
that's
I seen that. In fact, it was intentionally done to not raise any suspicion to her being like the villain. Because when you see the
okay.
movie poster, you're assuming one of them has got to be the main.
All right. That's funny because I didn't even see that. I just happened to be noticing that. I'm looking on behind me. I'm like, wait, Mary Beth's not on the damn movie cover.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
After Christopher McDonald's character, Mr. Connor, wishes Robert Patrick, Coach Willis, a good luck with the football game, Patrick shoots McDonald with his hand. This is
Saw
direct
that.
homage to McDonald's famous Shooter McGavin character from the film Happy Gilmore, released in 1996.
Absolutely amazing.
And then,
Sorry, go ahead. I have nothing
oh,
left.
I thought, yeah, I was going to say, I
No,
thought you have nothing left.
I don't.
And for my last one, Daniel Vaughn Bargan and Josh Hartnett both play a character named John Tate. Von Bragen plays Mr. John Tate in this film, whereas Josh Hartnett portrays John Tate, the son of Laurie Strode, in his previous film Halloween H2O.
I was just gonna
There
say
is
no way. I didn't even know
so
that's
many crossovers. I love it.
John. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And then before we wrap up Hackstab Slash, Justin gave me the opportunity to present him with some criteria for next episode. And I told him I wanted to watch something new on Netflix. And when I say new, I want 2025 and newer. So did you come up with anything?
I certainly did, and I'm gonna tell you the name as soon as I look back at our text and figure out what it was called.
I don't know what it was called, but I picked it. I don't know
I
what it is,
picked-
but I picked it.
I can't see it. I think it's called.
You picked Until Dawn.
Thank you very much for carrying that right there. Until Dawn. I know
Do
nothing
you want a
about
quick
it.
fun fact, Justin?
I would love one.
You said how much you hated that I picked a video game movie, correct?
Yes.
This is
Not
a
my
video game movie.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Until Dawn. I have not played this game. I have it sitting over on my shelf over there to play on Xbox. Well, PlayStation, I don't know. I got both of them over there, but I remember
I picked the
buying this
video game
game
movie.
because it's supposed to be scary as fuck.
All right, well that's good because I clearly it shows how much research I did about this movie. I started watching the trailer. I turned it off after 20 seconds just to make sure it was a horror movie because it looked like a cool slasher. So right away I said, "All right." I saw 20 seconds. It looked like a slasher. I said, "All right, I pick it." So that's how much I know about Until Dawn. So
I'm actually, when we're done recording and I hit stop and transfer all this to
yeah.
my phone, I'm literally going upstairs and starting to watch it.
Oh hell
I mean,
yeah.
I'm excited as hell for this.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the 20 seconds looked badass. So I stopped and I said, "All right, I'm sold." So yeah, let's get out of here.
All right. Until then, hack stab slash. I'm Hacky. This guy right here.
Just Justin, peace.
Peace.